Torokul Doorov is in Prague. He is the director of the Kazakh Service of Radio Free Europe. Torokul, welcome to the program. Thank you so much. I mean, I don't know how easy it is to get information out of Kazakhstan in terms of communications and what the government is doing to the internet. What's the latest that you've heard?
Thank you very much. The latest information we are hearing now is in some parts of Almaty, journalists were hearing some gunfire, and today we've been receiving these types of information several times from our reporters. And in Aktau, where is like Mangystau region, several thousands of protesters are still standing on the main square. They continue their protest, but in other cities, especially in Almaty today, there were quite dramatic scenes when about 1,000 people gathered on the main square, Respublika Square, near to mayor's office. The gunfire started, and we received information about some people dead and injured. And now, several minutes ago, we received an information that some journalists were injured as well.
What difference do you think it's going to make that these Russian paratroopers are now in Kazakhstan?
Yes, so you mean the troops from CSTO organization, a Russian-led organization where Kazakhstan is also a member. And again, we don't know exactly whether they are now involved or will be involved in a special operation. Our journalists couldn't see any presence of Russian troops in the cities, but today Russian news agencies reported that CSTO mentioned in their statement that the main purpose is to help Kazakhstani law enforcement bodies to stabilize the situation in the country by defending the government buildings and military facilities. But we don't know whether they will actively participate in, as they called, in anti-terrorist operations. The head of the organization just said several minutes ago that the number of troops might rise up to 2,500, and if needed, there might be even more.
Is this a zero-sum game for President Tokayev? I mean, would he even consider some kind of dialogue with the opposition, but who actually would he negotiate with? Because there is almost no recognized opposition. In terms of zero-sum game, I'm actually thinking whether he's just going to literally crush people and make sure that they don't come out onto the streets because he'll threaten them with death.
That's true. It is, what's happening now in the country is a deadliest uprising in the country since its 30 years of independence from the Soviet Union, yeah? And we have heard about gunfire in Almaty, in other places, security forces, some armored vehicles opened fire at demonstrators. Even though in these demonstrators today in Almaty, they were holding slogans like "We are not terrorists." The same we heard today from our reporter journalist in Aktau, northern Aktau city, where demonstrators said we are not terrorists and we need a negotiation with authorities. It was kind of an answer to the President Kassym-jomart Tokayev, who called demonstrators terrorists in his yesterday's statement when he asked help from CSTO organization. And some analysts, say that now they're criticizing President for this type of, I would say, a rhetoric of threat rather than to go for dialogue with demonstrators from the very beginning. Because at the beginning it started with just a peaceful demonstration of oil workers in a western town of Zhanaozen, where they asked to reduce price for gas. Later, when they couldn't get any support or reaction from the government, and it was later government didn't want to go for a reduction of the price, those demonstrators got big support in other cities of the country. And then now analysts are saying it was too late for Tokayev's government for any dialogue, because the demonstrations became uncontrollable.
Torokul, really appreciate the analysis. Thank you so much indeed. Torokul Doorov from Radio Free Europe in Prague.